the simple secret behind the world's longest living people. Have you ever wondered what it really takes to live a long, happy life? Not just existing but truly living. Feeling strong, clear-minded, connected, and fulfilled even in your 80s, 90s, or beyond. Maybe you've seen headlines like, "The Japanese live longer than anyone else on Earth," and thought, good for them. But that's probably because of some rare gene or superfood I'll never have access to. But what if I told you the secret to their incredible health and longevity isn't about magic pills, expensive treatments, or some ancient, mysterious tradition locked away in a temple? What if I told you it's something so beautifully simple that you could start doing it today, right now, and it wouldn't cost you a single dollar? This is the story of the Japanese people and how one quiet, powerful habit has shaped generations of life that not only last longer but feel better every step of the way. A habit so ordinary it's often overlooked. But as you're about to see, it holds the key to something we all want. A life with more energy, more joy, and more years to spend with the people we love. Let me take you to a place called Okinawa. It's a tiny island in the south of Japan. Nothing fancy. No tech hubs. No billionaires or cutting-edge hospitals. And yet, Okinawa is known as the land of the immortals. It has one of the highest concentrations of people who live to be over 100 years old. But here's the thing, they don't just live long. They thrive. They walk without canes. They garden. They cook. They laugh. They're full of life. You'll see a 97-year-old woman cooking dinner for her grandchildren or a 102-year-old man riding his bike to the market. It doesn't even seem real, until you realize to them this is just normal life. And it's not just Okinawa. Across Japan, the average life expectancy is one of the highest in the world. While people in many other countries are battling stress, heart disease, obesity, and burnout, Japan seems to have found a different rhythm. A way of life that slows the clock not just in the body but in the soul. So naturally, scientists, doctors, and journalists from all over the world have traveled to Japan trying to figure it out. What's the secret? Is it the food? The genetics? The healthcare? The answer is more surprising and more empowering than any of those. Comes down to one thing. A single, powerful principle that the Japanese live by almost without thinking. It's called Ikigai. Now don't worry if you've never heard that word before. Ikigai, pronounced Igai, doesn't have a direct English translation, but it loosely means a reason for being. Or more simply, a reason to wake up in the morning. And no, it doesn't mean your job, your income, or your success. Ikigai is about purpose. It's about connection. It's about doing something, no matter how small, that gives you joy, gives you meaning, and gives you the sense that your presence matters. For some, it's gardening. For others, it's caring for grandchildren. For someone else, it might be making tea, sweeping their doorstep, or volunteering at the local temple. Whatever it is, Ikigai gives them a sense of daily rhythm. A reason to move. A reason to smile. A reason to live, not just survive. And this is where it gets fascinating. Modern science has now caught up with what the Japanese have known for centuries. Studies show that people with a strong sense of purpose have lower rates of heart disease. They sleep better. They have less inflammation. They heal faster after surgery. They even live longer. In other words, it's not about how much money you have. It's not about retiring early. It's not about the perfect diet. It's about waking up with something to look forward to, no matter how simple it may seem. Imagine that. The secret to living longer and better could be something as small as having a reason to make soup, or visit a friend, or write a letter. And that's exactly why this story matters so much right now. In a world that moves faster every day, where we chase productivity, hustle, and comparison, we're losing touch with what truly keeps us alive. And more importantly, what makes life worth living. But here's the best part. You don't have to live in Japan to find your own Ikigai. You don't need to uproot your life or move to a remote village. The secret that has helped millions of Japanese people live longer, happier lives is already inside you. All you need to do is remember it. In the next part of this story, we're going to dive deeper. We'll explore exactly how Ikigai works, how it changes your brain, your body, and your spirit, and how you can begin using this quiet but powerful principle in your own life, starting today. Because maybe, just maybe, the life you've always dreamed of doesn't begin with some big achievement. Maybe it starts with a quiet morning, cup of tea, and a reason to wake up. How Ikigai transforms lives, and how you can find yours. So what is it about Ikigai that makes such a powerful difference in how long, and how well, people live? How can something as simple as having a reason to wake up in the morning possibly help you live to 100 with energy, purpose, and peace? Let's go back to Okinawa for a moment. If you ask the elders there what their Ikigai is, their answers will warm your heart. One woman in her 90s says it's caring for her neighbors and preparing traditional meals. A man who just turned 100 says it's tending to his bonsai trees every morning. Another says it's playing with her great-grandchildren. These aren't grand world-changing missions. They're small joys, but they are deeply meaningful. And that's the key. In Western culture, we often define purpose by career status, achievements, or income. We say, "I'll feel fulfilled when I succeed." But in Japan, Ikigai flips that upside down. Fulfillment doesn't come after success. It comes from embracing the daily things that already give your life meaning, no matter how small they seem. Scientists now believe that this quiet, consistent sense of purpose has a powerful biological impact. In one famous study, researchers tracked thousands of adults for over a decade and found that those with a strong sense of purpose were less likely to suffer heart attacks, strokes, and dementia. Why? Because purpose reduces stress. And stress, chronic, silent, invisible stress, is one of the biggest killers in the modern world. When you wake up every morning with a clear sense of why you're alive, your nervous system calms down. Your immune system strengthens. You move more. You smile more. You connect more. And all of those things over time add up to years, sometimes decades, of better health. But here's what might surprise you most. Ikigai isn't something you find. It's something you create. You don't have to wait for the perfect job or the ideal lifestyle. You can begin building your Ikigai right here, right now. And it starts with just 4 simple questions. What do I love? What makes you feel most alive? What makes time disappear? Maybe it's painting, cooking, teaching, gardening, or helping others. Don't judge your answer. Just feel it. What am I good at? Not in a resume sense, but what do people thank you for? What comes naturally to you? What could you do for hours and feel proud afterward? What does the world need? This isn't about changing the whole world. It's about making a small corner of the world a little brighter. Could be kindness, listening, care, laughter, or beauty. What can I offer or be paid for? In some cases, your Ikigai may overlap with your profession. In others, it may simply be something you give freely. Both are equally powerful. When you reflect on these 4 areas, what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can offer, you begin to see your own unique Ikigai take shape. It may not have a name yet, but it's there. And here's where the transformation begins. Once you begin living with Ikigai, even in small ways, everything shifts. You don't drag yourself out of bed anymore. You wake with curiosity. You don't feel lost or stuck, you feel anchored, steady, and open. You stop measuring life by productivity and start measuring it by connection, joy, and meaning. It's no accident that Japanese culture is rich in daily rituals. Making tea slowly, arranging flowers with care, walking mindfully. These aren't chores. They are expressions of Ikigai. They are reminders that life is not a race to the finish line, but a journey of moments worth savoring. Now imagine applying this in your own life. You don't need to move to Okinawa. You don't need to change your job or reinvent yourself. What you need is to slow down, pay attention, and start honoring the quiet parts of you that already know what brings joy. You could start by writing down one thing each morning that you're looking forward to. One person you want to connect with. One thing you want to create. One moment you want to notice. That's Ikigai. That's the seed. Over time, those small moments add up. They shift your chemistry. They rewire your brain. And suddenly, you're not just surviving the day, you're living it. That's why Ikigai isn't a wellness trend or cultural curiosity. It's a human truth. One that transcends age, culture, income, or geography. And the best part is, it's already inside you. All you have to do is listen. So the question becomes, what is your Ikigai? What simple joy, small mission, or quiet purpose will you honor today? Because the secret to a long, joyful life isn't hidden. It's been in plain sight all along. In the laughter of your family, the steam rising from your morning tea, the smile you give a stranger, or the flower blooming outside your window. And if you follow it, if you nurture it, your life will not only grow longer, it will grow deeper. In the final part of this story, we'll explore how Ikigai continues to shape lives across generations, and how you can protect that spark even during life's hardest moments. Because living well isn't just about knowing your purpose. It's about holding on to it when the world tries to take it away. A long life is not a dream, it's a choice you can make today. Sometimes we think that a long life is just a matter of luck. Good genes, no accidents, no disease. We look at people who live past 90 and think they just got lucky. But what if that's not the full story? What if living a long, fulfilling life isn't about luck, but about little choices made every day? Quiet ones, gentle ones, the kind of choices that no one claps for, but over time, they shape everything. That's the legacy of Ikigai. It's not a quick fix. It's not about hacks or diets or shortcuts. It's about living with intention no matter your age or stage of life. And perhaps the most beautiful thing? It's never too late to begin. Even if you've spent years feeling lost, overwhelmed, or disconnected, you can still find your way back to what matters. That's what the people of Japan remind us. That a life of meaning doesn't require fame or wealth. It requires presence. A willingness to listen to the small voice inside you that whispers, "This matters." Let's think for a moment about what the world often tells us we need. More money, more success, more recognition. But the people living the longest, happiest lives? They want more mornings in the garden. More conversations with loved ones. More moments of gratitude over a bowl of rice. It's a radically different definition of success. One that doesn't burn us out but fills us up. The truth is, longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. And Ikigai, this soft, steady purpose, is what fills those years with meaning. You may not live in Okinawa. You may not follow a traditional Japanese lifestyle. But you can carry the spirit of Ikigai wherever you are. You can wake up tomorrow and ask yourself, what simple joy can I lean into today? What connection can I make or deepen? What purpose, however small, can I honor? And when you begin to ask those questions, not once but every day, you begin to shape a life that is yours. Not borrowed from anyone else. Not measured by outside standards. Just yours. And that is where peace lives. We are living in a time when burnout, anxiety, and loneliness are rising everywhere. People are overwhelmed, tired, disconnected. We scroll endlessly searching for inspiration, but what if the answer isn't out there at all? What if it's already inside you? Because maybe your Ikigai is sharing your story, or caring for a child, or cooking food that brings comfort. Maybe it's building something with your hands, or listening to someone who needs to be heard. Maybe it's as small as noticing the sunlight on your face in the morning. These are not little things. These are everything. So today, wherever you are, however you feel, just pause. Breathe. Ask yourself not what the world expects of you, but what your soul longs for. That's where it starts. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to begin. A Japanese proverb says, "Only staying active will make you want to live 100 years. But being active doesn't just mean movement. It means active purpose, active joy, active love. That's the heartbeat of Ikigai, and it's available to you right now. Maybe you started this video out of curiosity. Maybe you didn't expect to hear about meaning or quiet joy, or the soul of an island thousands of miles away. But maybe something in this story sparked something in you. A memory, a dream, a longing. So hold on to it. Because the life you're hoping for doesn't begin someday far away. It begins today. With you. With a single breath, a single choice, a single step toward purpose. And if you need a gentle reminder now and then, know that you're not alone. This space, this community, this channel is here to grow with you. Thank you for being here. For listening, for feeling, for opening your heart to a new way of living. If this story touched something in you, if it made you think differently about life, about aging, about what really matters. Backhand index pointing right, please share this video with someone you love. Backhand index pointing right, and don't forget to subscribe to Golden Wellbeing, where we explore timeless wisdom, modern science, and soulful stories that help you live longer, live deeper, and live well. Because true well-being isn't about chasing more. It's about coming home to enough. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real secret to living not just long, but beautifully. We'll see you in the next story. Until then, live gently, live purposefully, live with Ikigai.